Most smart home devices under $100 are not going to completely transform your house. And honestly, that's the first thing I'd want people to understand. Because when you search for budget smart home devices, you'll see a lot of products that look exciting at first. Color lights, cheap cameras, smart plugs, sensors, speakers, buttons, and random gadgets that promise to make your home feel futuristic. But after looking through what actually gets used, what solves real problems, and what becomes annoying after a few weeks, I think the best smart home devices under $100 are usually the boring ones, right? They're not always the flashiest. They're the ones that quietly make your home easier to manage. So if I were building a smart home on a budget, these are the devices I would actually consider first. The first device I would look at is a smart plug with energy monitoring. Not just any smart plug, but one that can show you how much power something is using. A basic smart plug is useful for turning lamps, fans, coffee makers, or chargers on and off. But once you add energy monitoring, it becomes more than a remote control. Now you can actually see what a device costs to run. That's why plugs like the Kasa or Tapo smart plugs, or the Emporia smart plug, make more sense to me than a random cheap plug with no data. The thing I like about this category is that it gives you feedback. You can plug in your TV setup, your office equipment, or a space heater and immediately understand what is pulling power. The trade-off is that a smart plug will not magically save money by itself. You still have to use the data, but if you're trying to find waste, this is one of the cheapest ways to start. The second device I would buy is a water leak sensor. This is one of those smart home products that feels boring until you actually need it. A leak sensor under a sink, near a washing machine, by a water heater, or in a basement can alert you before a small leak becomes a major repair. And that's why I like this category so much. It is not about convenience, it is about avoiding a problem that can cost thousands. You can go simple with a Govee life, a Kara, or Moen style sensor, or you can eventually move up to a full water monitoring system. But even a basic sensor in the right place is better than having no warning at all. If I only had a small budget, I would not try to put sensors everywhere right away. I'd start with the highest risk area, usually the water heater or washing machine, then expand from there. The third device I would consider is a motion sensor or presence sensor. This is where a smart home starts to feel less like a collection of gadgets and more like a system. A motion sensor is simple. You walk into a room, lights turn on, you leave, lights turn off. But a presence sensor is more advanced. It can detect that someone is still in the room, even if they are sitting still. That matters because normal motion sensors can sometimes turn lights off while you're watching TV or working at a desk. A product like the Akara Presence Sensor is a good example of where this category is going. It is not just about detecting movement. It is about making automation smarter. The trade-off is setup. Presence sensors can require more tuning than basic motion sensors. You may need to adjust placement, sensitivity, and zones. But when they work well, they can make lights, fans, and climate automations feel much more natural. The fourth device I would look at is a budget indoor security camera with local storage. I'm careful with cameras because this is one category where cheap is not always a good thing. But under $100, there are cameras that can still make sense if you choose carefully. The feature I care about most is not just resolution, it is storage. If a camera only becomes useful after you pay a monthly subscription, then the real price is higher than it looks. That's why cameras with local storage, like some Tapo or Reolink options, are worth looking at. You can still get motion alerts and recording without immediately committing to another monthly bill. The trade-off is that cloud storage can be more convenient, especially if you want easy remote access or backup if the camera is stolen. So I would not say local storage is always better, but for a budget setup, avoiding subscriptions matters. The fifth device I would consider is a smart thermostat, but only if your home is compatible. This is one of the few devices under $100 that can actually affect your energy usage in a meaningful way. A smart thermostat can help by using schedules, away modes, app control, and energy reports to reduce wasted heating and cooling. Something like the Amazon Smart Thermostat can be a strong budget option if you are already in the Alexa ecosystem and your HVAC system supports it. but this is not a device I would impulse buy. Before buying any thermostat, I would check compatibility, whether I have a C-wire, what HVAC system I have, and whether I actually want to be tied into that ecosystem. Because if the thermostat does not work with your setup, it does not matter how good the price is. The sixth device I would buy is a smart button. This might sound small, but I think smart buttons are underrated. A smart button lets you trigger automations without opening an app or talking to a voice assistant. Press one button and the lights turn off. Press another and the room goes into movie mode. Put one by the bed and it can shut down lights, plugs, and fans at night. The reason I like smart buttons is because they solve one of the biggest smart home problems. Not everyone wants to use an app. Guests, kids, spouses, and family members usually want something simple. A button makes the smart home feel normal. The trade-off is that buttons usually work best when you already have a hub or ecosystem. So I would not make this the first device for everyone, but once you have a few automations, buttons can make the whole system easier to live with. The seventh device I would consider is a smart speaker or small smart display. This is not because voice control is perfect. It isn't. Sometimes it misunderstands you, sometimes it feels slower than just pressing a switch. And I don't think every room needs a smart speaker. But having one central voice assistant can be useful for timers, music, quick controls, routines, and checking cameras or devices. The key is choosing based on your ecosystem. If you use Alexa, get an Echo device. If you use Google Home, look at a Nest speaker or display. If you use Apple Home, the HomePod Mini makes more sense. I would not buy 3 different assistants and try to make them all work together. That usually creates more confusion than convenience. So what is the real lesson here? Under $100, the best smart home devices are not the ones that look the coolest in an ad. They are the ones that either save effort, prevent damage, reduce waste, improve security, or make your existing devices easier to use. A smart plug with energy monitoring teaches you where power is going. A leak sensor protects your home from water damage. A motion or presence sensor makes automation feel natural. A camera with the local storage can help avoid subscription costs. A thermostat can reduce wasted heating and cooling if your home supports it. A smart button makes automations easier for everyone. And a smart speaker or display can tie the system together if you choose the right ecosystem. If I were starting from scratch, I would not buy everything at once. I would start with one problem. Maybe high energy use, maybe water leaks, maybe lights being left on, maybe wanting basic security. Then I would buy the device that solves that problem, because the best smart home setup under $100 is not the one with the most gadgets. It is the one where every device has a job. Each device mentioned can be found in the description below if you want to check out pricing. Like and subscribe for more smart home devices and tips. Thanks for watching Smart Living Lab.